Hello, CADC, and welcome to the first of what I hope to be many informational broadcasts. This is your host, Paul Wells, Planning and Development Manager here at CADC. This first informational broadcast is going to be over our marketing team here at CADC. Many of you may not know that a few weeks ago, CADC got together and formed a marketing team, planning to move CADC forward in its development, not only in programs and services that we offer, but looking at new ways of telling the story of CADC and making CADC the best that it can be. First thing I want to do is introduce you to the marketing team. First, we have Mr. Randy Morris, which all of you should know by now is our new Executive Director. We have Miss Dana Bates, our Human Resources Manager. We have, of course, myself, Planning and Development Manager. We have Miss Darlene Bryant, which is our Senior Activities Center Director from Malvern. We have Miss Tiffany Smith, which is Administrative Support, located right here in the Benton Administration Office. We have Barbie Baxter, who is Assistant Head Start Director, Program Manager, located in Malvern Ops. We have Miss Shanice Baton, who's the CSBG Program Participation Supervisor over Miller, Little River, Sevier, and Lafayette counties. And we have John Mockabee, which is the SCAT Supervisor for Mount Ida and Hot Springs. Our first meeting was held August the 24th, 2018. And in that meeting, one of the first questions we had to answer is, what is a marketing plan? Well, when you look at the definition of a marketing plan, you find out that it doesn't really lead you to much information as far as what is a marketing plan. A marketing plan, the definition is the written document that describes your advertising and marketing efforts for the coming year. It includes a statement of the marketing situation, a discussion of target markets and company positioning, and a description of the marketing mix you intend to use to reach your marketing goals. Well, I don't know about you all, but when I was in school, they told me never to define a word with the word itself. And when you look at that definition, the word marketing is found in there 4 times. So we went a little bit further and we wanted to find out, well, what is marketing? Now, many of you may not know, but our new Executive Director, Mr. Randy Morris, has a degree in marketing. So it was important for us to look at what exactly is marketing. And marketing is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. Guys, we are in the action or business, and more importantly, the business of promoting and selling the products and services that CADC offers. Now, of course, we're not going out there and getting monetary value out of the products and services, but we are going out there and attempting to sell the products and services to our clients and other important parts of the community. So what is CADC's marketing plan? Well, a biggest part of our marketing plan, like I said before, is we must sell CADC. We must sell every aspect of CADC. Now, who are we selling that to? Well, first and foremost, we have to sell it to our clients. But not only that, we have to sell it to donors. Without the money and the funds to fund those programs and services, CADC cannot operate. We also have to sell it to the public, the general public. If the general public does not have a positive view on CADC, CADC is dead in the water. We have to sell it to our elected officials. We have to sell it to journalist staff. Okay, we're constantly looking at advertising both in print media, TV media, radio media, and so on and so forth. We have to sell CADC to colleges and universities, looking for those positive relationships. We have to sell CADC to our partners. We're not looking for partnership agreements just merely for the sake of saying we have partnership agreements. We're looking for partners that make both CADC and the partner better. And most of all, we have to sell CADC to our staff. We cannot have staff that goes out of here not believing that CADC is doing the best that it can do for everyone involved. And on and on and on. And we could name more here, but I think this pretty much covers everything that CADC is trying to do and trying to sell itself to. So the first step is we have to look at our business and do a business analysis. We were set up to look at trying to determine some goals. The team was put together and tried to do a SWOT analysis, and we'll go over in just a minute what that is, and also to do a communication analysis. So we left that meeting with some homework. And a SWOT analysis, for those of you that don't know, we were asked to come up with what we felt like the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats to CADC are. Okay? The second thing is that we were to look at our communications. We had a list of potential audiences. The first step was to determine the importance of communicating with those audiences. The second step was to determine how effective we were at communicating with those audiences. And then the third step was to rank those audiences in importance and try to come up with a top 5. And that was to bring back to our second meeting. So our second meeting was held September the 6th. And in that second meeting, we came up, first of all, with our SWOT analysis. And here are some pictures from the SWOT analysis, but we're going to go into more detail. And this is just a synopsis of what the team came up with as far as the SWOT analysis. Some strengths. The team felt like that some of our strengths were qualified employees. Being able to offer services to the entire family, not just Head Start, but also being able to help that family with utilities, being able to help that family with commodities, being able to help that family with referrals to other services. The number of high-quality programs and services offered to CADC clients and services. We have a number of high-quality programs and services. Strong ties with the community and a positive reputation in the community and partnership. Now, I will say this. Some of these things that you're going to see not only will show up in strength, but will also show up in other areas as well. We also have agreements with local businesses and service providers in our company and our community. Many local businesses and service providers in our communities throughout the state do a wonderful job of supporting us. Sometimes we don't take advantage of that, but many times we do. Then we looked at weaknesses, okay? And you'll notice that this one is very bold because this one kept coming up over and over and over again. The team recognized this as a major weakness, and that is communication within our agency. Staff to staff and program to program. We are not doing a good job within CADC of communicating within our agency. Communication outside our agency, public relations, telling our stories. Guys, we have to do a better job of telling our stories. And that's not just with pictures, but that's with pictures and the stories that go along with those pictures. Reporting all outcomes successfully. Guys, we have outcomes that are not being reported. And those are demonstrated on our CSBG reports. And we are looking bad because of it. And finally, incomplete information. Okay. Sometimes we don't know the information, so sometimes we try to either make up the information or we don't seek out the full information. So sometimes those families and clients just get part of the information. One other thing that was brought up was we have some facilities that are lacking in appearance. We have some facilities that look awesome and are great, and we should be very proud of that. But there are some facilities that could stand a little bit of work a little facelift here and there, maybe a little bit of paint, whatever the case may be. Those are things that need to be brought to the proper people's attention, and those are things that can be helped with just a little bit. And finally, one weakness is technology as a whole. We have some outdated technology. Some of the technology that we're using is not very user-friendly, and I'm not going to go into detail what some of that is, but I think we could do a better job of bringing CADC into the 21st century and looking at some things to make things a little bit user-friendly, a little bit more user-friendly, and take care of some issues along the way. Some opportunities that we looked at. We want to continue to offer the high-quality services that CADC's programs are there to offer. We're not looking to cut back. We're looking to build upon and add to. Also, loyal, happy employees who speak positively about the agency. We're looking to build on that. We're looking to call on you to be those spokespeople for the agency, and looking to you to be those positive outlets for the agency. Gaining feedback is a wonderful opportunity for CADC to grow. We have public hearings coming up. We have surveys going out, and those are all positive opportunities. And positive opportunities doesn't mean that necessarily that all of the feedback is positive. It just means that it's positive from the standpoint that CADC has an opportunity to grow. Opportunity to apply for an expansion grant. Okay? Expansion grants are always available. This happens to be example here for Early Head Start. Early Head Start is something that we have an opportunity to grow in because of competition with school districts in our regular Head Start. So we have an opportunity there to apply for expansion grants to get the Early Head Start, where we already have regular Head Starts in our 5 counties. And we have an opportunity to make the public more aware of what CADC has to offer. We cannot continue to be the best kept secret out there. Sorry, let's go back. And finally, the opportunity to increase and improve better communications between all branches of CADC. The opportunity is there, guys, and we are going to make it happen. We are going to become a more cohesive team, and we're going to become a more involved and informed team across all the programs within CADC, not just a few, all of them. And then the team also finally looked at some threats. Yes, there are some threats to this plan and to any type of change or moving forward. Disgruntled or unhappy employees who speak negatively. We don't want any negative Nancys out there. We don't want anybody that's set in their ways so much that they're not willing to change, and we hope that that's not anybody out there. Turnover. We have a tremendous amount of turnover. Hopefully that's for the right reasons, but we also have some positions out there that are just not fully staffed. One that comes to mind is bus drivers. I know our bus drivers are just tapped to the max, and we fully appreciate all of our bus drivers out there. But we tend to have a lot of turnover, and hopefully we can change that in the future. One of the threats that we have is our website not being user-friendly. That goes back to our technology, and those are things that we will be looking at in the future about possibly changing. Another threat that any business has, no matter what you're in, is competition. Our Head Starts have competition that they compete with daily. It's much easier for a family that has school-age children to take that youngster to a Head Start that's already at that school rather than taking them to a Head Start that's located somewhere else. So we understand that competition. The next thing is that we brought back our audience communication sheet. Okay? And what we found was that we did not do a good job of communicating with stakeholders. And stakeholders just simply means anyone who has a stake in CADC. And pretty much that means everyone. Everyone should have a stake in CADC. And we were to identify the top 5. And what came out of our meeting was we actually had a tie. So we said, let it lie where it lies, and we actually wound up with 6 target groups. Those target groups were clients, staff, partners, government officials, policymakers, community leaders, and donors. And we identified these 6 as being the most important audiences to really focus on our communications and to look and see where we were as far as communications and what needed to be done on the communication level. So we left that meeting again with homework. And that homework was we were to create an audience profile for each of the 6 target groups by answering these following questions. What are the concerns of the audience? What are the characteristics of the audience that are important to CADC? Why are they important to CADC? Why should this audience care about CADC and its issues? What does CADC want from this audience? How does this audience receive information? And it says list all here because we don't want just a couple, we want all of them. Do they read the newspaper? Do they get on Facebook? Do they watch TV? How does this audience receive its information? Are there particular individuals who have credibility with the target audience? Some target audiences will listen to one person when they don't listen to someone else. And finally, are there other individuals that can help us better reach the audience? Maybe it's a pastor in a certain community, or whether it may be an elected official, or whoever that may be. But are there individuals that can help us reach that particular audience? And then we were also asked another part of our homework, and we were asked to answer these following questions. And this goes to our branding. What is CADC's tagline? Some of you may be able to answer that right off the top of your head, and then you may have to think about it for a while. But what exactly is CADC's tagline? And then what we felt like was important for CADC is everyone needs to know an elevator speech that we can give somebody to answer the question, who is CADC? An elevator speech is just simply 4 sentences or less to tell somebody the overview of CADC. It's not who is SCAT or who is Senior Adult Center or what is LIHEAP. It's who is CADC, who is Central Arkansas Development Council. Next question was, does CADC co-brand with anybody? Now, when you say co-brand, that doesn't mean, co-branding with another community action group, or maybe it does. Do we co-brand with our national community action group? How does CADC make our message consistent across all media? Are we doing that already? Are we trying but maybe not doing such a good job? Does our print advertisement look like our social media? Does our social media look like our website? Our message needs to be consistent. And finally, how do we ensure that others see us the way we see ourselves? So this was the final part of our homework that we will be bringing back to our next meeting, which our next meeting will be September the 26th, 2018. As always, guys, this is Paul Wells, Planning and Development Manager for CADC. I welcome any questions or comments that you have, 501-326-6224, or you can email me at pwells cadc.com. Until next time, thanks for all that you do.